All right, so let's say you're a budding real estate photographer and you want to add aerials into the mix, but you're broke. You have a limited budget because you just bought a brand new camera, tripod, flashes, or gimbal, whatever you needed to get your business started, and you want a drone, but you have a limited budget. Could you get away with using the Mini 2 as a professional drone? Well, the short answer, if you don't want to stay around for this entire video, is yes, you can. And if this was a normal circumstance, this drone, I paid for itself and made profit in one single weekend. Let's get started. What's good, everybody? Ken here. You're watching OriginaldoBo. Today we look at the Mavic Mini 2, or the Mini 2. Damn, it is so hard to not say Mavic in the name of this. This is the Mini 2, and I'm gonna be talking about this from a professional standpoint. So first things first, if you are going to use this, the Mini 2, in a professional manner, you do need to have a 107 license to make any sort of money with your drone. That's unfortunately the inevitable truth. So it is gonna cost you $149 to take that test to be able to use this professionally. Now, with that being said, can you do it, and would anybody notice if you did? And the answer to that is no. My agents had no idea that I was using this little tiny budget-friendly drone. They do now if they watch this video, which nobody gets their money back. You're still getting charged the same thing. So over the weekend, I had 3 shoots and on three shoots on Saturday, and my goal was I would just take this with me on those shoots and see if I can just use it from a professional aspect. And to my surprise, it worked really well. One, it was really quick and quiet to get up in the air. Nobody even knew, not even the agent knew I was doing aerials, which I thought was pretty cool. It didn't make a big fuss, didn't make a lot of noise, which is really, really awesome in certain areas of Tampa where people are just generally uptight. So I was able to take my standard 3-shot photos on each of these homes. And on one of the homes, I actually used this for video, and it did make it into the video, even though I wasn't actually intending on doing video or drone photos or drone video at this location because of the airspace that it was in. More on that in a moment. So I took my photos with this and I edited them, and personally, I think the results are awesome. I think they came out great. Now, some explanations on these photos. I shot all the photos in 3 auto bracketed exposures, but I'm not using all the brackets. So I'll typically look at the photos and try to choose one of those photos to be the main photo, like the hero photo, and then I edit one single photo from there. And oftentimes I'm replacing the skies. Actually, all the time I'm replacing skies. And now with Photoshop's sky replacement, it makes doing this so much easier, so you don't really have to stress out or worry about the dynamic range of the drone. My main purpose is to expose for the home, let the sky blow out, and then just replace the sky. Now, with that said, you can still do that with the Mavic Mini 1, the original Mavic Mini. However, where this thing really shines is the fact that the files are able to be pulled greater since you are able to shoot in RAW. That RAW capability means you get better shadow and highlight retention than you could out of a JPEG. You also get better color depth, so when you need to shift the hues or change the white balance on things, it's easier to do that with a RAW photo than it is on a JPEG. So that was one of the biggest limitations that I came up against with the Mini 1, that you couldn't really shift colors around because of that JPEG file. With the RAW files that this has, they're actually really, really workable and easy. And if you're curious about how well these are gonna work for you, because maybe you haven't bought a drone, you're considering this, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can check out some of these houses that I shot. You can look at the RAW files, and then I'll leave the finished product for you so you can play with if you're interested. So shot the photos, sent them over to the agent, and the agent said nothing. I didn't say to them that I used anything other than a professional drone, and they paid their bill. Now, I did this 3 times over, plus I went out and shot on Sunday. So in a single weekend, I was able to make over $1,100 on 4 houses doing videos and photos. And yeah, this drone is basically paid for at this point. Now, keep in mind, not all of that is going to be just from the drone, but one of the biggest reasons why agents do choose me over another counterpart is because I do offer aerials. It gives you an added flair. As much as people say, oh, I don't need drone photos, I don't need drone video, you do need it to sort of complete the look of the project that you're working on. And with the Mini 2, it definitely did that very, very well, executed it perfectly. Now, that's not to say I didn't have specific problems that I wouldn't have faced with my Mavic 2 Pro or my Evo 2 Pro, such as the winds were a bit high in certain times of the day, and this thing got blown around, which made doing video incredibly difficult, because you could see moments where the gimbal was sort of jerkier than it would have been on, let's say, the Mavic 2 Pro or the Autel Evo 2 Pro. So that was something to consider. The other thing that I had happen to me, I started to have a flyaway over this tin roof home that I was working on. And I don't know if it was the home or the drone or what the deal was, but anyways, it started going off in its own direction. I had to flip the drone over into sport mode in order to regain control, and then it was fine. It's a bit of a scary situation, but the biggest thing is anytime that happens is try to bring it down as safe as possible, and that's exactly what I was able to do. The last issue I had with this while I was doing photography was the gimbal wouldn't pitch all the way down at 90 degrees. So I had to take it down, had to recalibrate the gimbal, and after that point, I was able to get 90 degrees. So maybe that was just a calibration issue, but if you do butt up against that problem doing those top-down shots, that will quickly rectify it for you. So in shooting 4 different houses over the weekend, I used one single battery for all those houses. One single battery, which is pretty impressive, because what that means is if you only wanted to spend $449, you can skip the fly more and basically have this paid for in a single weekend, which is pretty damn incredible if you think about it. But that's it. I just wanted to share my experience. I didn't want to keep this video dragging on forever, because you saw the photos, you can play with the photos now. The answer to this, can you use this professionally, is yes, you can. Is it going to deliver you the same results that a Mavic 2 Pro or even an Evo 2 Pro delivers? No, it's not. But unless if you're really looking close and you know what you're looking for, you're not going to be able to tell. And the reality is, no agent would ever gripe about the photos unless if they're super cynical or they're a camera buff. That would be the only absolute way that somebody would really be able to determine. But for $449, if you are a photographer that doesn't do aerials often, this can definitely be a game changer for you. That's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. There's a link if you want to pick up one of these for yourself. We are shipping these no tax from DroneWorks, so if that's something you're interested in, no tax on all Mavic Mini 2 orders. That is in the description below. And if there's any other questions, comments, concerns, blah, 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 do that thing, and I will see you in the next video. Stay original.